Hello, here I am yet again with Expedition 33 since the game takes up way more time than it should and I want to finish it. Now, we reached the paintress, which would be the big goal of the game or the expedition, but everything I have seen makes it pretty clear this is not the end of the game.
That's her, the paintress.
She looks like the curator. Renoir. He mentioned the curator's wife. She's the paintress.
You've come back?
Alors tranchons la trame, découle la
But the fire. Are you really here? Or is he?
Je t'en prie, fuis ce tableau maudit, cette toile d'une fausse.
Oh, is he playing tricks again? Alicia,
Alicia.
your face. My face? What about my face? Are you going to burn it again?
Alicia's your daughter. And Maya will remind you of her. The daughter you lost.
Come along. Let's go home.
Yes. You need to go home.
This is another trick. She's not Alicia. You are not my Verso.
No. Verso's dead.
No. You are his creations, not mine. You will not take this canvas from me.
This is what we created the expeditions for.
Tomorrow comes.
As I said, there's no way this is the last fight. Just a step way too much on the map can't be reached at this point, so it's rather obvious that's not all post-game. The game tries to be as obscure as possible, making sure you don't get too many informations, and hoping it's enough to string you along. Not sure about that, but what have we learned? The world was hit by some kind of catastrophe known as fracture, and then the paintress appeared with that huge monolith and the countdown on its side. Everyone who reached the age of the countdown vanishes. So the remainder of the humans sent out expeditions to stop the paintress and the countdown. There is this old man Renoir who was part of the first expedition and is now immortal for some reason, and kills off most of our expedition just when they make landfall. We got Verso, who is his son. He joins us after Gustav dies and knows more than he tells us. Obviously more than he tells us. He has his own goals here, but taking down the paintress is part of it, and that's why we tag along. He has a younger sister named Alicia, and she was very excited when she first saw Mael. They also have the same height and stature, so maybe they are alternate versions of each other, but it's clear Mael is special. Anyway, another piece of the puzzle is obvious too. The paintress is the mother of Alicia and Verso, and her name is Aline, which we learned from the mansion. Good moment to talk about the mansion. Good moment to talk about the mansion we get to visit again and again. The first time we get there is when the curator is taking Mael there after that unfortunate landfall of Expedition 33, and we find her there. Did I already say what an ill-advised idea the expeditions are? They basically all start at scratch and hopefully stumble over the former expedition's journals. At that time, it's too late to use the knowledge to be better prepared. I know I talked about this before, but they never shut up how the former expeditions prepared the way for the future expeditions. They shouldn't emphasize the point. It's idiotic because you get all the information after you already departed. If they actually leave behind something useful, it's more or less by accident because there's no bigger plan here. To give you an easy example, think of something like this. Journals at 4. We reached the same door as all the other expeditions. I know we have the key back home. We really should find a way to tell the people that before they depart, so they can take it with them next time. Now this is a silly example, but it could happen. That's the problem with all the expeditions. You don't know what the expedition before you did. All the examples where I wanted to show another expedition did work for the follow-up exposition. There is the one exposition that planted all those climbing hooks everywhere. Was that the plan? Then one expedition blew up every wall at that Axion hideout. Is that really a good idea? Is that really the plan? The fate of the human race is at stake here, and that's the best you came up with? Anyway, the mansion. We find Mael here shortly after we enter the second map of the game. All the doors to the rooms are locked, but we find doors on the region maps and the world map. These doors lead to the other rooms of the mansion, and if you're inside the rooms you can open them from the inside, so that's how that works. In the rooms there are some songs, journals and upgrade items. It's clear that it's the home of Verso's family and has a deeper meaning in this context, but since the game is not interested in telling us too much, that's just superficial. I'm guessing we get an en-bloc explanation after we finish this fight, which is one of the worst ways to do this, to be honest. Then we get the ability to fly and visit the 3 million places that are out of reach. That means we can explore the whole map and we can find out who the real villain is. Talking about the combat system once more, since this video is all about the combat against the paintress, so it fits. The dodge system is not my cup of tea. That much is clear. You can dodge by listening far better than watching your opponent. there is some sound indication. That's not a surefire way, sometimes the attacks come rather fast and you need to be in the rhythm of them to dodge. You can use the healing abilities of your characters to get past most story fights and bosses. So it's not that much of an issue, but it's still annoying. This way to fight is not enough for the optional content. Here the damage output of the special bosses is way too high, you need to dodge. There's no other way. Well, she is almost done and that was way too easy, so I don't think this is the end of this fight.
I don't like this.
Let's go.
Renoir can grieve however
Yeah.
he likes.
I kind of knew there was a second phase here, and this is it, I guess. The paintress bought her bigger counterpart, her avatar, I guess. Okay, back to the topic of the combat system. Another thing that might or might not be a problem I've seen. It also feels like using the keyboard leads to delay at times, and sometimes the control is unresponsive. Opening the map overview on the world map has that all the time. At other times, when I try to climb up or just walk, there is a delay at times. They say you should use a controller at the start of the game, so maybe those work better, but of course the keyboard needs to work as well if you have the option to use a keyboard. These fights really take forever, and part of the problem is the animation. All my attacks are these flashy, long, animated attack series, and that's cool and all for a few fights, but after a while it just takes up your time. Especially if the health bars of the bosses are this long. You have to watch them do these moves again and again, and that's really getting a little tiresome after a while. Interesting enough, this reminds me of another game, Prodigy Tactics. I give you a hint, it's a French game, of course, because this is their thing. Also, if you look at the color schemes and the overall look, it's not that dissimilar, right? From the outer maps. While I'm at it, let's talk about another French game, Edge of Eternity. Let me show you something from it. A screenshot. That's also looking a little similar to some of the regions here, right? Maybe it's a school for video game creators in France that makes sure they all use the same graphic style and all use very lengthy animation in their combat system. That seems to be their thing, because you guessed it, Edge of Eternity had similar problems. So all in all, what I have to say, I know my sample size is small, but all three games had the same points. The graphic style was always very similar, and I know those little screenshots didn't show it very well, but believe me, they really looked very similar. And these fighting animations, the long wait before one of your characters finish their move, that's also, every time I play a French game, this is happening. And to be fair, this game has the better graphics, this game has the better character designs, and definitely the better character graphics. But then again, this game is a newer game, right? So it should have that. All things considered, I really don't get it. How can these games be so similar? In the overall feel, at least. I seriously don't get it. One thing I have to say about the other two games. Both weren't very entertaining, but both didn't at least have these mood whiplashes I get from Expedition 33. I really don't know what to feel in this game. They switch up from comedy to tragedy and back so fast, and they are not really doing it in a good way. I'm always irritated by it. Speaking about irritation, this fight is irritating me at this point. Just how many shields are these? I'm seriously not happy with this. I have a skill, I could destroy all the shields at once, but since I can only use 6 skills at a time, I didn't load it. This is a design choice I really don't get. All things considered, this is going very well. I can't really complain about the fight. Now let us speak about Verso a little more, since you saw what he did in that cinematic in between the two phases of this boss fight. He gave a stone to Eskie, the stone that gives him the ability to fly and carry the other people with him. He had it all along? Why didn't he give it to us? It would make our journey way better. Faster. What's the idea here? I mean, just think of it, we could have flown up here and skipped the tower entirely. And it was his goal to come up here, right? So, why withhold the stone from us? This guy is such a tool. Everything he does is not making sense in terms of what we want as the expedition. He has his own agenda and he has a goal that we don't know of. And we shouldn't trust him, and next time we talk to him in private, we should just make sure he never does that ever again to anybody. Okay, there's this little problem, he is immortal, and even cutting him in half wouldn't really help. But, I mean, let's make many small pieces out of him and make sure these pieces can't move anymore. Problem solved. The story is completely disappointing so far, and getting a lengthy explanation after this will not help at all. The game is nice when you can explore, see new things, find that one path on the map you overlooked last time, find a secret passage. The characters and the character designs are pretty good too, and the voice acting and everything that goes with it is really good, so that makes it even more annoying that the rest of the game is not holding up. A lot of the main story revolves around art, painting, music. So I guess that's the idea here. You see, there are these gestural people and they all look like small brushes. That's interesting. But Overall, it feels a little hollow, so unengaging. Maybe if you really like the music, or if you really enjoy the graphics, you would be better off with this game than me. I don't really care for the music. It's good music and it has a very high production level. It's well made, but I don't like it. Same for the graphics. This oversaturated stuff is not my cup of tea. This fight took entirely too long. We are damage capped at 9,999 and that's not helping. But I think we are getting to the end of it now and good riddance. I think I'll have one more video about this afterwards to wrap things up, talk about the ending. Until then, bye bye.